Registration, I think, officially opens up very early in May. But if you get on the wait list, then you'll get all of the correspondence.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project. Crystal, wait, I'm here. Crystal's over. I don't know where I'm going to put her. She's here somewhere. I don't know which box I'm going to put her in, the 2 box. But so why aren't you here in studio?
Because I'm in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Well, more on that in the life update as to why you're in Colorado.
I moved out.
Finally, and has left me with all the machines.
Yeah, and the kids.
Yeah, and the kids. But you get them every other. I get them every other weekend.
Oh no.
So they're being flown over to you
for sure.
Now with Colorado and with the school system, no, I think it has to be. I get them every other. I'll get them on holidays and time off of school. That's what'll happen. No. Okay. So this show, although it looks different, is still brought to you by
Katie with Monarch Pine. So if you are looking for jewelry findings or blanks, make sure to check out her website, monarchpine.com, and use code Riley Black for 10% off. Patrons get more though.
That's right. And if you are a patron, don't forget to join the TRBP Hangout Facebook group if you're not already part of it. It's where we do our after darks and we post all those extra freebies. And if you're not a patron yet, we got you covered with the Riley Black Project Community Facebook group. And that's where we post all the teasers and everything about the podcast. And today, I don't have my cheat sheet as to like what to say because I don't need it today. Friend of the show and has a new event, a virtual event coming up. Welcome back to the show, Sumita Anuj. How's it going, guys?
We're doing great. How are you guys?
Oh, we're here in different states and doing things.
Yeah, we feel like we're third wheel in here.
It does feel weird because one, I'm in studio by myself. I'm not in my seat. This is Crystal's seat. This is all her decor. I just have a black curtain behind me, so this was more appealing. Yeah. So you. Oh, we lost your audio. We can't hear you. Yep, you're gone. I was wondering why you haven't spoken.
How about now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
There you are. Welcome back.
Thanks. And no, I didn't charge it. I never used this thing.
Yeah. So why? I never use it. So why would I charge it when I need it for about, I don't know, an hour?
It 20 minutes before. I've been preoccupied, okay, in my defense.
Okay.
Carry on.
I don't know where I was before I lost you because I was feeling tired. I was like, why isn't she talking? Yeah. So UV Ink Fest, which by the way, we'll get our stuff to you eventually.
That would be great.
We're still in the process of editing. Someone decided to go on vacation in the middle of all this.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
I mean, you're not here.
I'm not vacationing though.
Okay. Well, you're in Colorado.
I am. Yeah, we had 3 days from ISA. I will have been home 5 days in the month of April. So yeah, it made recording stuff a little interesting, and he sent back the rough draft yesterday, and it was pretty good. But of course, typical me, I had a long list of adjustments for him to make. So
I'm not gonna say I have to redo the whole thing, but I have to redo the whole thing.
No, you don't.
The intro was. Let me guess. The intro was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the intro. I think that was like the only part she kept.
No, the intro and your little tutorial part.
Yeah, but everything around that has changed.
Yeah, about 5 minutes of it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it'll be great. You guys are such pros at everything that you're doing. So I'm excited.
We're trying. Just so I mean, this is a perfect example, right, of where there's a lot of pivoting in life, and The end result may not be exactly what we had hoped or pictured, but the instruction and like what we're talking about, it feels a lot longer than it actually was, in a good way. So it's just one of those things that, sometimes your best at that moment isn't what the level you would put, because there's just so much going on. I love that this trip and the flexibility that I've been able to have has really shown me one of the huge positives in owning a small business, and having a very supportive partner who is also part of the business as well, that can kind of, hold up the other side when, one side needs to go down a little bit. So yeah, it's been a lot, again, especially just being home like 5 days out of this month, but for good things. We had so much fun at ISA, and then having this time, with my dad has been invaluable in many ways. So, you do the best you can, and then sometimes it means I'll do better next year. But yeah, you just gotta kind of go with it. And what is it like? There's the saying basically that you can't count on anything being like consistent or predictable. It's always just, you gotta go with the punches and just keep on keeping
and
on.
I've been promoted. I don't only pull orders. I've done like 3 or 4 laser jobs while she's been gone so far.
Yeah, he did. Was it today that you did?
Today I've worked every aspect of our businesses. I've edited. I ran 2 laser jobs. I ran
a UV printer.
That's what I was saying. I was getting there, but I was like,
sorry.
wait, I can't say, because there are rules again on that whole thing. So like, wait, what can I say? How can I say that I did? So I did a UV print job. And then I cooked. I took care. I kept our kids alive. And now I'm recording a podcast. And then after this, I'm going back to editing because that's what I do.
Give John an award.
Right?
No, because then I'm gonna have to make it. She's out of town. She's gonna send me the file, and I'm gonna have to cut it. And I'll present myself with oh look, I did a good job with this.
I'll give you a raise.
But
all right. I'll give you a raise.
To
you
what?
Make $0 now. I'll give you $0, and I'll bring back a souvenir.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. I'm just gonna steal from the company that I work for because they paid me in cash, so I'm just gonna pocket that cash for the jobs I did. Anyway, enough about us and what's going on over here.
Back to UV
Let's
Ink
talk
Fest.
to you. Let's talk about UV Ink Fest.
So
tell us more about it.
It's the first year, right?
It is, yeah. So, it kind of came to fruition late last year, or actually last summer.
Last summer, yeah.
We were in New York for Lightburn for LBX, and we get this feeling every time we go to any type of conference, right? Where we're just like, gosh, it's so nice to have the community together. Everyone's learning. Everyone leaves like feeling energized and like ready to like get back at it. But what we do realize is the in-person events, while they're so amazing, not everyone can make it, right? Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to bring education to those that, may not feel comfortable traveling or don't have the ability to get there. And then we noticed, Anuj actually identified it first, but there was a gap in the UV printing space, especially with so many makers kind of, influxing that community over the last year or two. We're all kind of learning, just like we did back in 2020 when we were all getting lasers, we're all learning UV printers together. And we all have different brands. We all have different types of printers. So if we can, all come together and just share common knowledge with each other, it's going to make us all stronger, just like it did 5 years ago when we all had different brand lasers, right? So that's really our goal. With this, it's a 2-day online educational conference. It's free to attend. There are options where you can upgrade, which, we can dive into later, but we very intentionally wanted this to be brand neutral. Yep. So while we have sponsors and, things like that, we we're very, again, intentional about who is speaking, what type of presentations there are, because no matter what type of UV printer you have, this should be beneficial for you. So that was our goal.
And I think to add, even if you don't have a UV printer, we wanted to make it available for everyone. So whether you're doing sublimation or you're considering getting UV printing, even if you're not, we have a mix of education in there. We have some different topics. So there's some laser, sponsors, there's UV sponsors, but it's going to be a mix of everything. And again, it's our first year doing it. We're pretty excited when, we're curious to hear the feedback to, if we do this next year, improve. But I think it'll be just a good mix all around for people to learn about UV printing and just pick up other things they may not know in general.
Yeah. I don't think there can ever be too much education.
True.
There's like, just if there's a theme to it, great, UV laser maker in general, just the more education and the more it gets people to like sit down and record a tutorial that they've probably been thinking about doing for forever, but don't until there's a deadline.
Are you tired of endlessly joining jump rings?
There's gotta be an easier way.
Are your wrists aching after numerous orders? Introducing Keychain Thingies, the time-saving solution for anyone making keychains.
It's so fast and easy.
These revolutionary plastic thingies make large or multiple orders a snap. So easy, even a child can do it.
That was so easy.
So what are you waiting for? Go to keychainthingies.com and order now. Keychain Thingies will change your life. However, they should not be used to cure any medical ailments, repair broken relationships, or help lose weight. Do not use Keychain Thingies unless you want to save time and aggravation. The Riley Black Project is sponsored by Monarch Pine.
Monarch Pine is your trusted source for premium laser blanks and jewelry findings. From large loop earring hooks made specifically for acrylic and wood earrings to laser-tested stainless steel necklace and bracelet blanks, they have everything you need to bring your creative ideas to life.
As a maker, you know the value of quality supplies. And that's exactly what Monarch Pine delivers. Whether you're crafting as a hobby or running a full-time business, their products make it easy to design confidently and create stunning pieces.
Head to monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack to get 10% off your order. Riley Black patrons get an even bigger discount, so don't miss out.
While you're at it, join the Monarch Pine Craft Supply Insiders Facebook group. It's a vibrant community where makers share tips, inspiration, and their incredible creations.
Monarch Pine, where your creativity takes center stage. Visit monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack today.
Not tomorrow.
Today.
I'm excited to watch the classes and stuff too, because we're pretty new to the UV printing, and we think we want another machine or not, and we're not quite sure, what we want to do and what all goes into it and all that. So I'm excited to see what else, everybody is teaching. I mean, I guess this would be a good point to ask you who else is teaching and maybe what are some of the topics they're covering.
Yeah, absolutely. So we, again, just being intentional with everything for our first UV Ink Fest, we really tried to think outside of the box. And, when you attend a lot of these events, you kind of see some of the same speakers, right? We're guilty of it. We love speaking at events, but I'm sure people are very tired of hearing us speak. So we wanted to give a platform to those who may not have spoken before. So while we have some really seasoned, people in the industry that are speaking, like, Mark from Big Blue Laser and Emily Caroline and Michael Mullins. And, we have some really great sponsors that are household names now if you're a maker. We also have folks who have never presented before. So it was really exciting for them to get to put together a presentation of something that they just do every day. And that's what we wanted. We wanted them to capture their workflow and how are they setting up this file and how are they wiping this item down with Promoter or not, like all the ins and outs of it so that people can get a real glimpse into how to UV print, right?
I think that with that, it came a lot of excitement for us because, when we did reach out to a lot of these people that have not had this type of opportunity or been approached, they're just like, but you want me to do what? You want me to I've never spoken before. Like, what do I do? Like, I've only spoken, like, presenting to my kids or my family.
Right.
So the excitement and the questions and then just the overall, we're getting the submissions. And you could tell that we get the blooper reels. Like, we had so much fun. Thanks for being part of it. Like, it makes us happy, too.
Yeah.
Like, people are getting joy out of it. And that's the goal, just to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have, so some of the topics, I'm just looking at our speaker list. So we have, Alexis and Kendra, they're going to be talking about how to set up your Adobe files for UV printing. Adobe Illustrator is such a pain point, especially if you don't have experience with it. That was something that we struggled with really early on. We have Catherine Ewers. She has an Epson, so she's going to be kind of highlighting, everything that you would want to know about an Epson. We have Patricia. She's going to be with Trisha's Reclaim Signs. She's her presentation was so adorable, but she's going to be talking about the roll to roll, which is like a whole nother layer of UV printing.
Right.
I think that's really exciting. We have, Dawn, she's going to be talking about how to incorporate paint parties with the UV printer. Josh Perry, we have Daniel Gonzalez, we have Kristen Thompson, Cheyenne, like the list could go on. I think we have close to 25 or 26 speakers. So we're really excited.
It's Daniel Harster now. Because
right.
he's rebranding, I think.
To his new name, like Prince. Just call him Martin.
Right. Just a live pixel.
Yeah.
That's quite the lineup.
It is.
Quite the lineup of people.
Yeah, we're excited.
Do you want to mention what you didn't talk about the education? People are doing the education sessions. We talked about people that are doing printing techniques and stuff, but the education speakers.
Oh yeah. So we have Heather Bennett is going to be talking about Shopify. She's like, just all things Shopify. We got to go to her shop a couple of weeks ago in Florida, and we were just like blown away and left
we went in January.
Oh my gosh, like
stunning.
I didn't think I wanted a retail store like that, but now I'm like, oh gosh, like that would be
the same thing to me. I hung out with like 50 DIY, either brick and mortar or like mobile shops, and I'm like, you guys are making me want to open one. They're like, no, talk to us in Q4. You don't want
Yeah.
But it's really cool. We have Dana Midkiff. She's going to be doing some educational sessions. We have the folks from SNA Digital. They're going to be talking about AI, like using AI for your business and showing up on Google. Jessica is going to be talking about finances and bookkeeping. So
nice.
It's really
she
going.
didn't tell me.
Well, now the cat's out of that.
But again, going back to like just being intentional about it, like we really want someone who's either getting into UV printing or maybe they've already been UV printing for a year or two. We want them to feel supported and kind of leave with, at least our goal is like if you can leave with 5 good pieces of like business advice that you can incorporate immediately, I consider that a win.
Yeah. So let's talk about the pricing then and how that works. So it's free if you watch day of, right? You can watch for 24 hours or something like that. And then how does it work for the paid tiers?
Yeah, you got it. So every morning, at 9 a.m. Central, the list of sessions for that day will go live. So you should have anywhere from 12 to 15 sessions a day. Those are all free. You don't not have to pay anything. They are available for 24 hours. However, if your 24 hours look like our 24 hours, it is very hard to actually watch, let alone one class. And I don't think we could ever get through 12 or 15. So you do have an option to upgrade. And so if you upgrade to something called the Pro Pass, that's $47. If you, snag it right when it prompts you, otherwise it jumps to $67. But you will get access to, close to 30 sessions because a lot of our sponsors have educational sessions as well. So if you divide 67 by 30, I mean, that's like $2 or $3 a class, right? So it is a really great value. And then with that, you get unlimited access. You can watch it at your leisure. And a lot of our speakers have been really generous to give upgraded, files or handouts or something that will assist you in your business. So it's really great value.
Yeah, I like that because, for me, I'm a big YouTube tutorial person. I have to pause, go to my machine, see what I'm doing, and then go back. But if I miss it, then I'm like, well, I can't rewind. I can't go back and watch. Like I just forgot what was next. So I think that'll be beneficial for those that, want to be able to access those later on.
Well, we've all watched Emily's videos. She's like trying to teach us something and then she starts dancing and then you're like, Emily, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, and John's a YouTube University pro.
Yeah. I am currently in the process of fixing the rear AC in my minivan, my man van. Yeah. The first part didn't work. The second part came in today. So I don't know when I'm going to have time to work on that because it was hard to find time for the first first piece. But our 8-year-old really wants AC in the back again. So
I would too.
Yeah. So I have
and
to.
He's always sweaty.
Yeah, right, from sports. But you guys are right in that there is that need for UV printing, like education and kind of tutorials, because it is something that's like, I mean, we have these entry level machines, you call them entry level because they're a little slower and they're not like big production machines.
Sure.
For the reason of it is growing, right?
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yeah.
if you don't have one or are looking to, you're looking at it and you're like drooling and like, man, I can't wait to be able to like offer full color prints, whether it's like on tumblers or the DTF or roll to roll or whatever. It is a growing market, and unlike the laser where we had like, and I say we because we were all part of I was a little more on the outside at that time, but the groups were only like in the hundreds, maybe thousands, to where it is now. So like you bring in UV now, the groups are already there. So now you just have to make another group and they're all going to flock over because of where, the possibilities and also the maturity in the industry. So like these machines, while still like really pricey for maybe someone coming in, you are seeing those more seasoned companies, actually buying one and sometimes even multiple, just because they're in a place of business now with coming from laser that they can invest that money back into their business.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it didn't happen overnight, right? We saw it in the laser, business as well. We all started with a Glowforge, for example, or, we see it with X-Tool now too, right? These are considered entry level, but there are people who can build their entire business around X-Tool, for example, if they wanted. And I foresee the same thing happening with Eufy or the X-Tool UV printer, right? Or even the Epson. There are so many great entry level, printers, like you said. And, initially when working for a manufacturer, for example, like LegoJet, you do get a little, shocked by the number of just competition that's entering the market. But then I also see it as a really great opportunity to kind of support these people, help them grow their business so that they do need a larger printer, later.
Right.
And we saw that happen in the laser business as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very similar. I mean, I kind of call the Eufy the Glowforge of UV printers because it's very similar in that, the price, is more affordable than maybe an industrial one, right? And then it is a little bit slower, right? So you give some things up for the price, and then it being desktop and, near plug and play, it gives you. So with UV printing, right, it's a bigger barrier of entry. And so it's more maintenance than a laser, right? There's suggested maintenance for the laser, but most of us don't necessarily follow that or do much of anything daily. Oh, come on.
Oh no.
Really? Oh, it came back.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, phew. But so it reminds me of when I had a vinyl cutter, the Silhouette vinyl cutter, and I was making t-shirts and I was doing all that. And then I needed more, right? I needed dimension, or I needed like a way to step it up. And that was a laser for me. And then now that I've had the laser for, 5-6 years, I'm like, okay, now I kind of don't love engraving or, doing the dimensional height, like, physically, like attaching pieces and stuff like that. So I think these smaller UV printers are only going to be really whatever. You're just gonna have to hear me. The smaller lasers or the UV printers, they are just like the Glowforge in that they tend to, you test the market, you see if you really have the customer base for all of that, and then once you do, and you're becoming more production, then you switch over to a more production machine and you upgrade, right? But it's like, it's a safer, less I guess scarier way to test it out for you, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, and especially coming from the laser rolls, which are all new. I mean, some of these UV printers, the more industrial ones, they're almost the price of a new car. I mean, they're $40,000
Right.
and it's expensive. But I think, you know, with these entry level desktop, it's a great way to learn, test your market. And if that's not in the budget, you know, farming out to someone else, maybe getting some blanks or some stickers or film to just kind of test out the market and see how it goes. But and that's the whole goal of Inkfest, is just brand neutral. It's beginner, immediate, advanced, you know, people from all backgrounds, even if you don't have a printer, just to learn what are the capabilities, what are my options, what are the different brands out there, what are different opportunities you can do with it. And like I said, just bringing the two technologies together, laser and UV, because we're seeing it a lot more and more.
I like, I do like the, and I guess it's part of it being still new to a lot of people and everything, the brand neutral, because, you know, hearing the lineup, and I mean, we're in such a like lucky space where we know all the names that you mentioned, you know, and no one's like, oh, who's that? But knowing, like, also knowing like what they're working on and seeing, like, you know, like you said, Catherine has an Epson, which I didn't even know which one she had, honestly.
Yeah.
But like, and just hearing, like, I'm like, okay, they have this machine, oh, they have that, oh, cool. So they have, like, you know, while you're reading off those names, I'm like, okay, it's not just like one or two machines, it's like, you know, across a few. So that's cool.
Yeah, and that was our whole goal, right? So we have folks, you know, that have a Eufy, they have the Epson, they have a LogoJet, they have a Mimaki, and then even within those brands, they have different forms of those machines, right? So I think that it's, again, our goal is that everyone should be able to take away something, even if you've been printing for 10 years, that you're able to take away something that you can implement in your business.
Yeah. And I think too, what's going to be cool is kind of to see what other people use their UV printers for, because the lasers, right, you can create, I mean, almost unlimited amounts of things, right? Like we bring it up all the time, but the one we're most shocked by is that the breast implants, that someone literally, their job is to laser serial numbers on like breast implants. And like, there's just so many like things that you can do with the laser. And then you add in the fact that now a UV printer, and like, it just exponentially, like, you know, the things that you can do with both of them, either together or separately, is just, I'm excited to see, you know, what everybody else covers.
Yeah, no, and that's a good point. So I think it was like sometime last year, we had someone reach out. They wanted to send us these like medical discs where people,
I remember,
for like dental like stuff. And so we're like, sure, we'll print your logo and serial number on it. And he started sending us like hundreds at a time. And these were like thousands of dollars in orders that we were like, oh my gosh, like you could build your entire business off of just printing on medical devices, for example. Right? So there really is, like, I think from a maker perspective, we tend to look at what can we sell, you know, that's personalized or that's cute or at a craft show. But when you really,
or what everybody else is selling, which is not a good way to go.
But when that's just scratching the surface. There are so many layers to the customization industry.
Layers and UV, just funny. See what you did there. So it's not something, you know, these things, these events come on, and let's talk about the sponsors who have helped to create all this and that. So who are some of the sponsors for UV Fest?
We definitely feel very blessed. We feel very supported, you know, in this community, and we have some really great sponsors that have joined. So you know, I'll name some of these brands and we can dive into them too, but we have the folks over at MakerFlow. They provide some really amazing blanks that can be both engraved and printed. So excited to have them on board. We have GS2, Allison and Braden just are so involved in the community and do so much. We have Houston Acrylic, we have Trotec, Johnson's Plastics Plus, Jessica, you know, with JT Financial, Excel Laser, Lone Star. If you're in the hat, you know, game, Lone Star is going to definitely, you know, showcase what they can bring and how they can help your business. We have Monarch Pine. You know, I don't think a lot of people realize that her blanks can actually be engraved or printed,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
Yeah.
We have True Flat. We have Eon Laser, which we're really excited about, especially because we utilize their lasers. And then we have a new sponsor that may not be as well known, but that's the whole goal is Technotape. And so Technotape has a lot of blanks that you can use for both sublimation and UV printing. So for example, if you wanted to do like a 25-piece puzzle, they sell puzzle blanks that you can just put into your printer and easily print on and then ship it to your customer that way. So you're not having to do like individual pieces or cut them later. So we're excited to bring them to the event as well. So we have some really great sponsors.
Yeah, those are some great sponsors, great names. Again, same. No, most of them except for that last one.
What's cool?
Melody Passman actually made me a UV printed necklace on one of Katie's blanks. And brought it to APA. So that's awesome.
I love that.
That's perfect. It's just opportunities like that. Like most of us are already buying laser roll blanks, but I think a lot of people are not realizing you can UV print them as well.
Right.
Charging for that color, like the necklace, right? You can laser engrave it, or if you add a little bit of color, you can charge a little more for it, and it looks pretty.
Right.
So
and sometimes it's even easier. Don't tell your customer that.
But I know. No, it's true. There's less cleanup usually, and it's faster in a lot of cases. So
cleaner usually, unless you mess something up.
Right.
It's true. I was talking to someone today, and they bought like the tri-layer acrylic, and he was like, "Do you have settings for this? Like, I get so much soot, it doesn't look good. It's like this neon yellow like softball acrylic."
Right.
And I was like, you got to print on. Why don't you just print on it? But he was like, I don't know how to take the shape from Lightburn and put it in Corel or Pixel to do it. I was like, here's some helpful resources. Like, we have Inkfest coming up. I was like, you will learn the techniques and how to do that. So prime example, I'm like, you just print on it. You have a printer. And he's like, well, I'm going to do that. I'm like, well, you will learn. We'll help.
It's funny. I told Crystal when we got our printer, I was like, this takes away your need for all of these colored acrylics, because now you can print color on, and you don't have to like layer. No.
First, I know you want me to have less acrylic, but that's not going to happen. It does is it gives me. I'll get rid of the other stuff, not the acrylic's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the shipping stuff. Who needs shipping?
Who needs
material?
Who needs
I need my acrylic to have its 2 racks.
Yeah. Although I want a new storage system, but that's a conversation for another day.
What?
But
we're learning so much on this episode. We learned that Jess with JT Financial Studio is part of Inkfest, and now I'm learning that I'm gonna have to install a whole new rack system.
We will.
I'll
help
by buying it. You're gonna buy it.
and then reorganized all of those.
Play the YouTube tutorial while I'm building it and putting it together.
That's one less thing for you.
So all of those colors of acrylic, I can now print someone's name on glittery, sparkly acrylic.
Acrylic is such a I don't think we realized the power of acrylic until we got a UV printer, because
how did it change?
We honestly didn't engrave or use a whole lot of acrylic on the engraving side, but now that we have a printer, I think like probably 90, or maybe that's a little high, but like 70% of what we do is on acrylic, and like the bag tags are one seller.
I saw you shaking your head. Are you shaking your head because you're not
helping? You're not helping the fight.
Well, I mean,
he's gonna hit a shipment of acrylic tomorrow. Show up at his door,
right?
And how is that different?
Going on right now.
How is that different from any other day?
Hey, I've been a lot better lately. Like I go months without buying acrylic. It used to be like weeks, if that. So, yeah, I've been better.
A little bit.
I'll tell you what you need to buy. We can talk later.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Great. I feel that's more expensive than acrylic.
What?
Whatever she's got, whatever she
No,
has you
she's
buy.
gonna tell me how to use my acrylic better
Okay.
and use more of it for UV printing.
What have you guys been printing?
So I've actually been printing a lot of ceramic magnets.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
They're really fun and easy and fast.
That's
even
awesome.
on my generally slow UV printer. I've done some tumblers.
Okay.
I did some acrylic blocks. I do need to kind of perfect that method a little bit more. I did a nameplate, an acrylic desk nameplate. What else? Some ornaments and keychains.
That's
But
awesome.
I really do a lot of the. Oh yeah, some of the. I actually printed on my softball and baseball keychains.
Okay,
Oh, that's
those
cool.
were really good.
Yeah, Emily actually first printed on those last year for LMC. It was one of the theme last year was All Stars. And so she bought some of those keychains for me and then printed the LMC logo on it. So I knew that they could be printed on, but I had never, personally tried. And they're so cute. And then again, putting a logo that's like this big on them, it's so fast and it just looks really cool.
I actually have that.
it.
I have that sitting on our desk because I want to order a bunch to like promote locally because we like live in a very baseball like heavy area. So I needed that reminder, but I know they're so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, the little mini glove and the bat that you can engrave on too, or you could print on as well if you don't want to, put it in the laser and engrave. One thing I don't love about engraving, especially on acrylic, is the mess. It's messy. Like I don't have a compressor because for the most part I don't really need it. And so, you typically also engrave with the air off because you have a better, engrave. There's still a little bit of air, but there's a lot of the debris and, you have to clean that up. And then it's just, there's more handling, I feel like with engraving. And then I've also realized that dust, depending on how well your laser engraves, can actually scratch or like mess up the finish of the acrylic as well. And I just feel like there's less handling with acrylic and printing because do you typically rub it down with alcohol first?
We do. Yeah. We use a 99% alcohol with the microfiber cloth. And then
sometimes a static one.
That's after before we print. Yeah. Just to remove any of the static. So it really doesn't get any banding.
Yeah. And it's just, again, if your UV settings are right, there's not going to really be any mess or necessarily cleanup after the fact.
Oh yeah, exactly. There shouldn't be.
Yeah. And one thing I like to about when I see them run everything, it's like you can kind of like print your jig on the bed,
right?
Yeah, and just place everything, and then it kind of takes that part of laser out of the equation because you just run it and it gives you like the jig on there, and then you just like wipe it off or scrape it off afterward, and it's like, oh, this is cool. So I guess the trade-off is a little bit of time. Obviously, you got to print that like quote jig out before you put it on there, but no, I agree. And I think it's just we're now like we've introduced products that we never thought we would do, right? And I think that's the beauty of it because that's what also helps your business grow. It opens up new doors for you, new opportunities. So between engraving and printing, you really never have to say no to an order. Whereas before, as much as we love engraving, it's always going to be the backbone of our business. We were just a little bit more limited, but now, unless someone is asking for apparel, that's just the one thing we don't do. We pretty much can do everything else. So it's nice that we can keep all that business in-house.
Yeah. I'd recommend teaming up with a local like shop that does apparel. If you get asked that regularly, I've actually been asked quite a bit recently if I do shirts, and I used to do shirts. I don't do shirts anymore, but now I work with our local shop and I actually do the laser engraving stuff for them. And now when people ask me for shirts, I can say yes, and I go, through them. And sometimes they know I'm outsourcing. They don't always know. But if it's a friend and stuff, they know, and then they still want to order from me because they have that relationship from me and that connection with me. And then I also know enough about shirts and merch and all of that stuff, just having ordered stuff for myself, that I know like what shirts I'd recommend, or screen printing or DTF or, all that. But then it makes it even more so that you don't really have to say, no to anything. What are some of the products that you've done since having a UV printer that you kind of didn't really expect to be offering as much?
I definitely think start the bag tags.
Yeah.
And we use our 1/8 inch white acrylic, and I know people sell the PVC, blanks and stuff like that. We just have the acrylic, we'll just do it. But I think those have been extremely popular, especially with high school sports teams. We've done stuff with some of the MLB farm systems, a couple of their teams.
Yeah.
I think bag tags have been super popular. Ornaments as well for the holidays. Like I said, we've always done well with laser engraved ornaments, but now people want like a Christmas ornament. You can actually put a tree or colored presents on there, and I think that's been really popular.
I think yard signs were another thing that we weren't like really expecting to do.
And is that on that chloroplast? Or
yeah. And we did not expect, we didn't realize how big of a market there is for yard signs. But now when like we drive down the road, we're like, oh my gosh, there's a yard sign.
See them everywhere. It's kind of like when you buy a car
and you just
and you never saw the car before.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you see it everywhere.
Yeah. No, it's exactly that, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like all these people, I should call them and say like, we do yard signs, right? Because they're very inexpensive to print on and very quick. And usually people don't just buy one, they buy multiple. So yard signs, we're definitely not expecting. And I think signage overall, because we didn't do a whole lot of like tabletop signage, like bar menu signs or seating charts and things like that. But now we do a lot of QR code signs and, things like that. They're easy again to produce on acrylic. So
we get a lot of random one-off requests as well, like promotional basketballs for like 1,000-point game. We work with the local shoe guy that does shoes for like athletes and celebrities.
This stuff is super cool.
It's nice. So like random things we wouldn't expect like that.
Right.
We couldn't do it with the laser, but now.
And I think like UV DTF is probably a good answer too, because we bought, like when we got our printer, we knew we could do it, but we just thought, okay, well, we'll use it when we can't print on something. So if it's like a random, odd shaped item, but it actually has been a huge, part of our business now to help support other makers who don't have a UV printer or they want to test their market, so they can order UV DTF through us. And then we'll see them a couple of months down the road. They're like, okay, I think I'm ready for a printer. Like, can you, on what that looks like? But it makes us feel better because they've tested their market. They have a business plan. They know it's going to work for them. So we love being like a, small part of that journey.
Yeah. So have we covered everything that you wanted to at least highlight for UV Inkfest?
Yeah, I think so. We have a wait list open at uvinkfest.com. So you can always go there to join, or we'll send you a link as well that you guys can share. But, registration, I think officially opens up very early in May. But if you get on the wait list, then, you'll get all of the correspondence.
Cool.
Yeah.
So another thing we were going to talk about too is just how has everything changed as far as you and your business, and what's kind of like ramped up, what's kind of taken like a back seat? What are you guys up to now?
So we, I can't remember the last time we were on the show. It was not that long ago, but I feel like so much has happened probably last year. Yeah.
Well, even if like, I swear, if we have people on and then like 6 months later.
For your event. We were when we were in your place. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Right.
last fall. That's right.
That feels like forever ago.
Right.
It does feel like forever ago.
I remember now. Yeah.
That's crazy. So yeah, since I think over the last year, we have been really intentional about growing our business to capture more B2B sales. We obviously have a retail website. We love the one-off orders. People pick from our existing inventory online. They get to personalize it, and then we do the orders. But B2B was where we always wanted our business to kind of end up in. And so slowly we started to see an increase. Now, going into this year, our business is almost 70% B2B orders. So we still have, consistent sales through our website, but it's people reaching out to us saying like, hey, I need 50 of this. I need 100 of this. And the beauty of it is we're not really changing our process or our workflow to do this, right? We're using the same equipment.
Just bigger orders.
Yes, just bigger orders. And they're all usually the same, even if each cup is personalized, right? It's still a much easier workflow. We have 2 people that work, with us as well. It's easier for them to knock out. We can use the inventory that we already have, but we actually, in a lot of cases, charge more sometimes when it is a corporation because they may have a quick deadline that they need to meet. Have very specific instructions, so we can charge for that, right? Anything that takes away from our normal workflow, we're going to charge for. So we've been really pleased with kind of where that progression has gone, and we're starting to see bigger orders, higher sales amounts, but we don't feel like we're doing more work, which is nice because everything is streamlined.
So what would you say is what would be some of the first steps that someone should make if they want to start shifting more into that B2B area?
So I think networking, right?
I think networking, number one, I think the best way to start it's free. Just create a spreadsheet, Google Sheet, Excel file, and just look up corporations near you and just start making a list. And maybe take you some time to, get to the right decision maker, whether it's, someone in marketing or purchasing or a general manager, what it looks like. But I think just making a list and just start reaching out, whether it's email or a quick phone call or even just popping in. I think that it's a good start. It's free, right? It's all what you put into it, what you're going to get in return. I think networking for sure is number one. And
another thing that I feel like is a really underutilized service is your local chamber of commerce will have a membership directory, and that membership directory is free. So if you go on there, it will break it down by category, every business, category that you could think of. So if you wanted to make a goal, this week, I'm going to reach out to every real estate agent in my area. All you have to do is click real estate, and it will give you a list of agents that have signed up for the chamber. So you can start emailing them, dropping off samples, calling them. It essentially is your roadmap to networking if you treat it.
So you're saying use a registry as businesses to reach out to.
Yes, exactly. So that's what, we would set a goal. I'm going to reach out to 10 businesses tonight, right? So I would have an email template that I would send out. And I just made my way through each category. You're not going to hear back from everyone, right? You're going to end up in a lot of people's spam inboxes. And
it's what is it? The numbers game, right? You send 100, and if you get 10 yeses, that's still
great. Yeah. Because it didn't cost you anything, right? You didn't, it's not like a paid ad where you invested all of this money up front. And then what we would also do is in each category, pick 2 or 3 businesses to actually do in-person drop-offs, because it's unrealistic that you're going to do an in-person drop-off to every business, right? Just for budgetary and time reasons. But if you pick 2 or 3 in each category and then do an in-person drop-off, you will eventually start to see the fruits of that labor, come to fruition.
So for the in-person drop-offs, do you typically take their logo from their Facebook page or their website, or do you make them something somewhat generic or a little bit of both? What do you do for that?
So we typically do a little bit of both. I mean, I know people can get iffy on logos, especially if there's a registered trademark or a copy. So we kind of are mindful of that too. More so, it's just more of an example. We're not selling. We're just kind of saying, hey, if we do get approval, if you do want something, here's just an example. But also, we're also looking at the director, and we see director of marketing, Sumita. Maybe we'll put a tumbler with Sumita's name on it and then drop it off at the front desk. Like, can you please do this, Sumita, with our business card, just to make it more personal? Because I feel like if something has someone's name on it or something that resonates, they're not less likely to throw it away. Whereas we got
right, it's
the
very true.
chapsticks or like the random tchotchkes where it's like, okay, like great.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that's why we're seeing more and more people going to
Yeah.
go into this industry, is because it's unique, it's more meaningful.
For sure.
So
Yeah, and with their name on it, it's more likely that they're gonna get it, and it's not gonna be like stolen along the way. Because like,
Right.
you can't use a Sumita cup because
Yeah.
Right.
it's got her name on it. So hey, here you go. This is a pretty awesome cup. Here you go. It's yours.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, it's very true. And we kind of tailor it to the business, right? Like if we're walking into a real estate agency, we
Mhm.
want them to see like, hey, we can do closing gifts, or we can do like what's relevant to them. But if we're walking into a
Right.
construction company, we're probably going to drop off like a tape measure, right? So
Right.
you want to be mindful. You want to like read the room.
Strategic,
And, like,
intentional.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and think of the industry and find something generic enough but still relevant to the industry.
Exactly.
So that way when you walk in, it's something, because even if you do like a closing gift, if they have a closing, they're like, oh man, we don't have anything for them, and you walk in with a closing gift that maybe just like the area code or
Yeah.
something with that area, they're like, oh, this is perfect. We have a closing coming up in 2 months here. We can give this, and then keep their card.
Speaking of something I need you to print on, John, while I'm gone.
Hold on. Where's my stack of things I have to do?
Get YouTube pulled up, John.
Right.
I'm running 3 companies here. I have an auto parts thing that I'm part-time mechanic.
Okay,
I gotta
that's
do
on you.
lasers. I gotta do laser things. I got editing projects to do, and I gotta follow up on a bunch of emails. What else? What else you need me to do?
I need you to print on my little tape measures. I literally forget about them all the time, and they would be perfect like swag for, I mean, a lot of the businesses that we see at networking. And I mean, just good for networking, right? Because like some of the stuff they might, toss your business card. Unless they really like you, they're probably going to toss that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the measuring tape keychain, we print on that. I mean, that will be helpful to like throw in there, even if it's in their junk drawer, right? But it's going to have our business name on it,
Right.
even if they toss it into their junk drawer, and it'll be like, a little bit more top of mind, hopefully.
Fine. Fair enough.
Huh?
And there's so many businesses that can use an item like that, right? Like you
Right.
start, it's just like construction, but it's really not, like interior designers, real estate agents, furniture store, like folks like.
Well, anything with homes, right? Because like, home inspector or realtor or anything like that, because who doesn't have 14, measuring tapes, but can't find any of them when you need them,
Well, and another thing that we'll always like, once we're in talks with a business, like we'll always try to throw in like casually, like, if they're like, oh, I don't know if like, I need this or, whatnot, we'll always kind of throw in like, oh, well, we just got done doing a round for like XYZ down the road, and we'll name one of their competitors, even if we've never done work for them. It kind of lights the fire under their, butt, because they're like, well, hey, like if the competition is doing it, like I should probably do it too, right? So that has always, I think, been
give
like
them a little dose of FOMO.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that, then bundling as well, because every time there's always a question of, okay, what's my budget? This is my budget, all I have to spend. You can find opportunities where you don't want to tip someone to the top of their budget. Like my budget's $30 per person. Okay, here's something for $30.
Right.
We've got, for example, like cheer water bottles for a high school team, but then we took cheer necklaces from Monarch, and we're like, well, you get a water bottle, and then we'll put the cheerleader's name on this megaphone necklace. Why don't you put them together so they get the cheer bottle with their name on it plus their name on a necklace? And that's an easy, like, oh yeah, for $3 more, sure, I'll take it.
Right. Yeah.
And you can do that with UV printing, right? Like that was one thing we couldn't do before. Like our Maker Flow items, they come in a really nice like black packaging. And before we never did anything with it, but now we're like, oh, we could UV print like this business is go on there and charge them $5 more per item, right?
Well, and even yours too, right? I mean, when you can strategically placing your own logo on some of those things, especially if it's just like the box, right? Then that means it's not actually on the item, and they might be, putting your logo on the back of like, a gift box is a little bit more, little less like not intrusive, but I can't really think of the other word, but like putting your logo and engraving it on the back of a cutting board, right?
Right.
You know, if you have the packaging, it's a way of, hey, this is who made it, but it's from your company or from your realtor or whatever. And it's just another way to kind of, you know, get your name out there. And I have seen, I think both Catherine and maybe even Josh Perry have done it. But like on a matte black box, and then you printing like the name of whoever, you know, they're gifting this to or whatever, and printing it in gloss on the front. It looks like the map with just gloss on almost anything. It just
looks so good. Yeah.
And I've seen it on packaging too. And there's actually like businesses on like Instagram and TikTok that I've seen that they literally sell like boxes that are like personalized. Like you're just, all you're buying is like the gift box from them.
Right.
And it's like acrylic or a name like printed on there. And that's its own business in itself. So yeah, you don't stop at just the product. You actually, you know, it goes down into your packaging and printing on it as well. Yeah,
no, I totally agree. So many options. It's
really
hard to pinpoint
what you want. Focused for
I know.
How much time are we at, babe?
Oh, see, I don't normally keep an eye on it, but we're at 53 minutes. So
is it actually 53? Because I had to leave and come back.
Yes.
Okay. So then I guess before we go to the after part, remind people where they can find you guys and any of your mentoring, and also obviously the UV Inkfest stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So for UV Inkfest, you guys can go to uvinkfest.com. You can join the registration wait list, and then you'll get emailed some information when we go live. So that event is coming up in less than a month. So if you are interested in UV printing, or if you have a UV printer, we would definitely love to see you there. We have our own Facebook group, Homebound Laser Engraving and UV Printing Learners. We would love to have you guys in there as well. We try to share actionable, tips and tricks. If not every day, every other day. These are all stemming from like our real life experiences. So whatever we're working on that week, you're going to get a little glimpse of that. We try to break down ROI, how we found, that business, what we're printing on, where we found it, how much we charge. So we try to give you as much information as possible. So we'd love to have you in that group as well. And then we do offer one-on-one mentoring. So if your business needs kind of a little kick to get it to the next level, we'd love to, be a small part of your journey and share with some one-on-one mentoring.
Awesome. And once we have an official affiliate link, we'll put that in the description as well.
For UV Inkfest, yes, I will send that to you tonight.
Awesome.
And is there a cap after the fact if someone missed it but they see this episode or they find out about it?
Good point.
Is there a cap as to when they can purchase it?
I do not believe so. And if it is, it's like way out. So they should be okay.
Okay. Perfect. Well, that'll do it for the Gen Pop version. So if you want to get spicy and find out what we're going to talk about, because we're gonna get into it.
Are
as
we?
As to who wasn't invited to UV Inkfest. If you wanted to hear that list, you need to head over to Patreon. It's only $6, and you get all the tea, and it is piping hot. So be sure to join Patreon. But the life update's up next, and we are back with the life update. Still looking a little different because you're there, I'm here.
Yep, and sorry again for the pixelation and the terrible quality.
I mean, you looked really good for like the first 5 minutes, and then when you left and came back, you didn't come back the same.
Well, I'm glad I was even able to come back because it was shut off, and I just turned the camera on again, and it worked. I was like, okay, well, at least I'm not just a talking bubble now for the whole
we'll go with it. Well, you won't be, because I'll have put like a picture that you send to me, whatever that is.
Yeah,
I'll have you send instead of me pick, because you don't like it when I pick. So,
well, but now I don't need it, right?
Well, yeah, because there was that one part where you were talking, and it was just this silhouette person. So I'll just put your picture.
Okay.
And maybe voice of, if there's time. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to turn this.
Here, take a screenshot of this. Not really.
But it's pixelated.
So they have to watch the whole rest of the episode.
Yeah. So let's talk about why you're there and I'm here. So why are you in Colorado?
Yeah. So which I think we talked about it a little bit on the last episode.
Yeah.
But basically, so I had already planned a trip to come see my dad at the end of April, at the end of this month. I think I actually would have been arriving like today or yesterday. I don't remember. No, today. And then my dad had 3 falls in 3 days. So the words hospice and end of life planning were kind of tossed around. So I extended my trip from 1 week to 2 weeks, and that's where I'm at. So I came out the 14th or so, and you know, on his good days, I feel like he has a ton of time and life left in him. On the bad days, those are the days that are, you know, harder. And you know, is it slower? Is there like a lag?
I don't see a lag on my end.
Okay, it looks like I'm seeing me and like my lips are like.
Well, because you're talking in real time. That's
True.
happening to me as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, I always tell people I want him here as long as he wants to be here. You know, he's had Parkinson's for 23 years. He's 71, and you know, his body is literally kind of like betraying him, right? And, you know, giving up on him. And so I can't imagine how that is for him to live in that and experience that. It's incredibly difficult to watch. Cause, you know, I want to help him do everything, but at the same time, like, you know, he's very stubborn and very independent, and he wants to do it himself. He wants to walk by himself. He doesn't want to be pushed in the wheelchair. He doesn't want help taking off his shoes and putting on his shoes. He wants to do all of those things. So, you know, it just, so basically that's, you know, why I'm out here, and I've just, every day I wake up around 8-ish, I get ready. I drive an hour to go see him, and I usually arrive just before or just as he's going to lunch. And then I'll have lunch with him and hang out with him in the room, watch some TV, watch some movies, Netflix, random things, and just really be there. You know, yesterday was one of those days where he didn't talk a lot. And so just having a presence, you know, and there was one day one of his like lifelong best friends actually flew out from Albuquerque. And so that was nice to see them, you know, hanging out together, and to see one of his friends that, you know, I remember from when I was little that I haven't seen in a very long time as well. So yeah, it's just, I'm thankful that I have this business and this life to where I am able, you know, to come out here. And you know, just want to thank you too, of, you know, I know for you it's like a no-brainer. It's not like asking if I can go, you know, but you know, it did leave a lot on you at home. You know, there's your business that has been doing well and taking off, and then there's the keychain thingies orders and the engraving, and you know, the editing for, you know, UV Ink Fest, and just so many things. And you'll be coming out as well for a couple days. Too.
Yeah, JR is really excited to see Pop. That's what he calls him.
Good.
He said he's like, I'm gonna give him a hug. I'm like, all right, just not too hard, but
lots of hugs. Give him more hugs.
Yeah. So and I mean, your dad, you know, one of the hardest things, aside from like, you know, like one of the hardest things about telling him we were coming to Florida was JR. because he's so, he
Yeah.
it was just hard. Like, I'm not only was I taking you, but I was, taking him as well, and he was like a year old. So
There was someone who asked when we were at lunch one of the days, how long have I been in Florida?
Mhm.
And before I could even respond, now, if you know my dad, he doesn't respond quickly.
No, he doesn't.
Even before Parkinson's got bad, he's always, he's thinking in his head and then he says it.
Yeah.
But it took him no time to say, when they said, how long have you been in Florida? He said, too long. And I laughed because I was like, oh, now you're fast.
Yeah, I remember when I asked him for permission to marry you. I was like, we always had a good relationship. Never like, I never had the feeling that maybe he didn't like me or anything like that. We always like hit it off.
Right.
But I remember when I asked him, and again, he's always, since I've known him, and when I knew him, obviously he had it,
Right.
but not as bad. He always paused when he spoke, but that pause, so much doubt. I'm like, oh wait, does he like me? All of a sudden, I replayed every interaction with him, and like, wait,
like, was there any?
Was there any sign that maybe that I read wrong, that maybe he doesn't like me? Because the pause, and then of course he said of course and everything like that, and I was like, oh my god! But that like, and it must have been like a second, but I ran through every interaction. I'm like, wait, maybe this guy doesn't really like me. Is it? Am I making this up in my head? So JR is really excited. I know, I hope you see like a change, and I hope he has some extra good days from seeing JR.
I hope so too.
But so it's gonna be, JR's excited. He was looking for his neck pillow. I told him you have it.
His neck pillow.
You have. We only have one neck pillow for travel.
The black one is his?
Well, he thinks it is. Right.
So there's that leopard, or not leopard. There's like a
one.
Zebra one.
Oh.
He can use that one.
I think he thinks that one's yours. Where is that one? We'll talk about it.
We're in our
fair. Yeah.
Right.
So and then
I mean, funny enough,
he's been we leave. So I got to check in tomorrow. So we're recording this on Tuesday, right? Tuesday. On Tuesday, we leave on Thursday. This man has been packed since Saturday. And then realized that he's packed all his pajamas and he has no pajamas left.
Oh yeah, he came out of he was like shower the other day and was like, I don't have any pajamas.
He's like, what do I do? I don't have any pajamas. He's like, Daddy, I don't have any pajamas. I'm like, yeah, you packed them all, didn't you? He's like, yeah. I'm like, listen, buddy, we can do laundry the day before we leave. You can take them out and you can wear them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this man's been packed.
But yeah, we were joking earlier today that, we've been on the phone a lot. I talk to you on part of my drive when I'm driving there. We talk about like what
very familiar to how we started.
It is, yeah. I mean, we started long distance, and
you're in Colorado, I'm in Florida.
Right. Now you're in my house though.
I mean, listen, by the state of Florida, I think if you're gone for a few more days, this becomes my house.
Whatever. But yeah, we joked that we need to have one of those little, like, just have a headset on where we just
like truck drivers.
Like that 90-day couple where they literally were on the phone like all day, every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense to a certain extent because we would literally hang up and then you'd call me back 2 minutes later about something.
Something happened, or like an email came in, or like the email came in for this order. And then which I thought you were gonna call me, so I was like, I started the job early. I started working on it. I'm like, I want to finish this before she calls to get ready to do this, or at least have like these 4 done, because I was very proud of myself that I put the 4 like next to each other, and I centered it. I don't know if you noticed that, but I actually what is it? Control Alt? No, Control Alt is the top. Controls, whatever. I forget what's the hotkey for it. But yeah, I aligned it to make sure my box was centered to the graphic, and then I duplicated that, and then I duplicated that. Yeah, I was very proud of myself for doing that.
Good job, John.
Thank you. So So yeah, I think that's all we got. I leave to Colorado on Thursday with it'll be our first flight together. Me
Oh yeah, you and
and
JR.
JR. Yeah.
So actually, I did that first when he was like a year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, for your
I
grandfather.
flew out to Florida
Yep.
with him. Well, and Penny was with us, but then I flew back out to Colorado a couple weeks later because of my grandfather. So
Yeah.
before we go, I just wanted to say thank you to all of our listeners, our patrons, everyone who's been understanding of, this year we haven't been as, I don't know that I would say polished. There's been some times where we've been late on like the Patreon episodes and stuff, just because the travel and life has just been so crazy. And then there's also a listener who is now become basically a friend of ours who might have also been diagnosed with Parkinson's. And so, they saw my video with my dad. And I got a lot of great feedback from everybody on that video. It's uncomfortable to film somebody in that state. It kind of felt like weird.
Yeah. I'm glad you did though, because I can, like, knowing his condition, I can see that it was a really good day.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you have that.
Me too. I mean, every time someone comments on it or likes it or I get a notification, then I just watch it all over again. I've probably done several hundred of the 1,000 views or 2,000 views that it has.
Yeah, they're definitely cooked because I have to.
Yeah. So, but it's just, I never wanted to, even with our podcast, I never wanted to be stuck in a box. I know we're content people, and I know a lot of content people tell you, you got to keep it like focused and, you got to keep it like whatever. And it's like, to a certain extent you do, right? I was like, where do I post this video? And I was like, you know what? I post it on my business. This is my life right now. And this is, the business gave me the ability to spend that time with him and to get that on video, and all of it is kind of related. So yeah, just again, thank you to everyone who has reached out, who's commented, who's kind of been there for me. There's been a lot of laser people who have been there for me more than even some of my, like, I don't know what to call it, but like real life friends or non-laser friends,
Civilian friends.
Huh?
Civilian
friends, yes. But yeah, there's a lot of, laser people who have been just the best. And, Emily sent me a Zelle today for, Cafecito or whatever I wanted to, spend it on. So, I really appreciate everyone who's been there. For us. And again, thank you to you for holding down the fort while I ran out.
Gotta keep this machine going so you can do that. It's part of the reason why you can, because it doesn't shut down when you go over there.
Right.
So yes, you're welcome, but it's also it's what I can do so that you can have that time with him. So you're welcome. Yes. And with that, it's been a very emotional life update, but it's been another great episode of the Ride Back Project. Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done. The Funny Black Project. Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Wait, hold on. Nino, I'm recording.